You've experienced a sports injury, joint or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of your liberty and pursuit of your justice for those that have been injured. My name is Seth Morris, attorney with Liberty Law Group. If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, call 877-42-LIBERTY. Our relentless trial attorneys are committed to the highest quality legal representation. At Liberty Law Group, we will fight for you. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Again, that's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Now's the time to schedule your air conditioner service check with Bryant. Make sure it's ready to keep you cool and comfortable when you really need it. Call Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating, 467-1111.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEBCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
NEBCO, you the real MVP. Appreciate you for sponsoring our show. Check them out at nebcoinc.com if you are looking to start a new career today. I'm Austin Norman, joined by Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet Erick Strickland to my left. You're right if you are on the stream. Lots to get to today. We are not going to waste much time at all jumping into it. Coming up in hour 2 of the show, we'll have 3-on-3. Stricky, your task was to find the movies with low budgets that made a lot of money. How are you feeling about your list?
I think it's pretty good.
Okay.
I think there's some in there that you would like.
We'll see if I've seen more than 2 of them.
Some throw it out there. Some of them are old school.
Okay.
But
this is On the Block.
Yeah, it's on the block.
Perfect. So that'll be coming up at 3. We'll also talk some Husker football spring games, specifically the running back room and the running game in hour 2. But Strick, the news of the day as it relates to Nebraska men's basketball in the transfer portal, William Kyle III has made his decision, and it's not Nebraska. He commits to another Big Ten program, UCLA.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the same stuff we said about Frankie Fiddler yesterday about playing for a blue blood applies in this conversation as well.
Yeah. I would have to agree with it. It has to do with something that we can only speculate. I'm still hoping to be able to at least get William Kyle Sr. on to just talk about the process. And I hopefully I can make it happen. But just to kind of talk about the process that parents go through and what they deal with and this whole ordeal now with NIL and part of the decisions, what goes into that, you know what I mean? From one perspective, because it can vary. So you have 2 Nebraska young men who probably could be of help to the Nebraska program. And I can say probably in one instance, it was offered a pretty good chunk of NIL. Doesn't work. One goes to Michigan State, also in the Big Ten. Then another one goes to UCLA, also in the Big Ten. You don't know. I don't see it coming. I don't know what their style is going to be and whether that's a fit, but I'm going to be watching. I'm looking forward to watching and hoping that they have great success because obviously they are from my alma mater.
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard to fault guys for getting go play for, a Hall of Fame coach, a national champion coach, one of the best ever to do it in Tom Izzo. It's hard to fault a guy for going to, dyed in the wool blue blood. Like UCLA, get that LA weather, make a difference, and still get to play close to home. I can assume that Michigan State and UCLA will be on Nebraska's schedule in some capacity this upcoming season. Whether or not it's in Lincoln or on the road, I guess we'll see. But I can't fault either young man for not choosing Nebraska. But it does, from the Nebraska standpoint, raise the question of, is Nebraska putting in extra effort, going above and beyond to try to recruit these guys? Is Nebraska treating these guys like any other player and just putting in, average transfer portal effort with them? Or is Nebraska just making the courtesy phone call and not interested?
Mm-hmm.
Some of these things we don't know and we can't know. And I'm of two minds of this, Strick, because on the one hand, Nebraska just needs to get the best players available, right? To me, it has less to do with you have to get Nebraska kids because they're from Nebraska. Just go get the best players. But at the same time, the talent level, we've talked about it on this show and others, the talent level in the state is improving drastically. Where Nebraska, I think, sooner than later, needs to land a Frankie Fiddler, a William Kyle, a Chucky Hepburn, guys like that, instead of, Brady Hyman or Tanner Borkart, for example.
For me, it's just a different time. It's a unique time. It's one to evaluate. It's one to get deeper understanding. It's one to possibly say that Nebraska may need to step up in that area. Are they real serious about the basketball programs? Not just the one, but the programs. Is there? We're really going to get a good assessment as to, is it truly just a focus on, reestablishing and getting football back on, a high pinnacle. But it's tough to miss, because I really think that William Kyle could have been a help to the interior of what Nebraska needs. I think Frankie was probably no different. I think they're probably very similar. Probably his body's a little bit bigger and stronger than any of the forwards or front court guys outside of Gary.
Right.
But I think that would have been a tremendous matchup of battles. I think Frankie is capable also of being a Gary type, playing in that, that small ball 4 range. I think he's willing to bang and get physical on the inside.
Pause.
Pause. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's something to consider, and just wasn't able to land it. Probably timings is definitely of the essence in these things and these decisions. You also want to make sure that it's not just about the state. That it doesn't become the full. It really is about the fit. I mean, it's got to be about the fit now. It can't just be you. I think we've missed that era now of, if they're from the state, keep them home at all costs. I think we might have missed that. I think the fit and the ones that we have landed in state, a couple years from now, I think they're good fit type of guys for what Nebraska's looking to become. So it's just a matter of if it's gonna happen, by way of the method that they choose, or is it gonna happen by way of the method that chooses them, which is dealing with NIL, dealing with, what I mean? Sometimes that's gonna end up being the method in which you must take in order to win.
And the NIL message is to some degree on the Nebraska program, but Strick, I can understand why boosters and donors would maybe have some hesitancy in giving some money to this program that hasn't sustained success in a long time, right? I think to some degree, coaches have to prove they can do more with less before they get more. But if there ever was a year for boosters and donors to open up their pocketbooks, feels like it might have been this year, right? For Nebraska to be doing some fundraising, not just after the season, but in the season. Hey, look what we're doing. This is exciting. This is fun. We've taken a step forward. Can you write just a slightly bigger check? Maybe add another zero, or, add one to the fourth column or fifth column in the check there to keep it rolling. I don't know that NIL is the problem for Nebraska. I wouldn't be shocked if it is. I can't imagine that the basketball budget on either side, to your point, with the women's basketball or the men's basketball team, I can't imagine those compared to the football budget for this. So I can understand that there might be some hesitancy to give, but that's kind of what, fundraisers' jobs are for up there in North Stadium. But to your point, too, about the in-state kids, needing to keep them at every cost, to some degree, I think there needs to be that one player in state that takes a chance on Nebraska out of high school and thrives. Been a while since we've seen that at Nebraska, because the program just hasn't been good enough to make it every kid's dream to play for Nebraska.
Right.
It was nice that Sam Griesel came back home. He made a difference in this Nebraska basketball program. But right now, Sam Griesel's the outlier in coming back home, right? We appreciate Sam for the efforts that he gave. And as fans, we like that he enjoyed Lincoln and Nebraska enough to come home and want to be a Husker. But Nebraska has to earn the love and the respect of the kids that are in the state. It can't take them for granted and say, just because you grew up within the state's borders, you have to, or you're going to love the program, and that's going to take precedence in recruiting.
Yeah, that time has been passed. It's missed. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's definitely one of the reasons why I decided to end my recruiting early, not have to deal with all of that. It looked like the style was fun. It definitely was. It was very fitting for me, aggressive defense. The fit for me made it more comfortable for me to make the decision to come in with a nice, solid group of brothers that we played some ball together, and to be able to play beside them instead of against them was very alluring. So you had those things working on my behalf as to why I decided. And then, for me, because I was a tri-sport athlete, I didn't go to a lot of these camps that most people would go to, these national 5-star camps and all these different names. They would be these big camps all over the state. I didn't go there. I didn't pay for those. You had to pay for them, or you got invited, or whatever the case. Just didn't go. I just didn't have the time. But that's where you used to have to make your mark. So it was very regional dominated. Like, the word gets out in the region, and then if you're able to do something at the Vegas or at one of these regional camps or whatever that we would attend, that's where your name would kind of raise up within the ranks. So that was that's what it was, and what it is now is definitely not what it was. And so a lot of these young men, they have other reasons as to why they make a decision to go and do what they're going to do now. And
all we can do is wish them the best, wish them success, and definitely be following along. Before we get to break and we call up Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald, there is still one transfer out there that we know Nebraska has kept tabs on, and that's Igor Milicic from Charlotte. Bryce Williams, old school. Milicic started his career out at Virginia. That's a guy that I'd written off, hadn't heard much about him since we knew he visited Nebraska. They put an offer out to him. Well, it was last week already, Strick, that he put out his top 3 programs. It's Baylor, Tennessee, and Nebraska. That's some stiff competition. That's a perennial Big 12 power, a rapidly improving SEC team that gave Purdue a battle in the second weekend of the NCAA tournament, and Nebraska. Milicic is 6'10", but not a traditional 6'10". He plays more on the wing than anything. Good 3-point shooter. Average, I think, 13 and about 8-9 per game last year. So he doesn't solve the whole of defensive anchor in the paint. But if Nebraska's going to lean into shooting and skill, I think that's still maybe a worthwhile guy that you keep pursuing.
No question. That's anytime you can get those guys like that have skills that are considered to be an anomaly, like outside of what they would normally see for the position. You always want to have those, because they're mismatch nightmares.
Yeah.
They have coaches wondering and thinking, and how are we gonna, and who are we gonna, they have you have to put that into thought.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise you could be in trouble in a game.
Sure could. You sent me that video on Instagram of Modest Buzelis playing down in the G League. He's one of those guys.
He's one of them.
Definitely watch out for him.
Watch him. His name is going to be called
very early. Woo. Most likely. I think he was a Kansas lean at one point before he committed to go play for G League Ignite. And I don't think we've talked about that on this show either, that G League Ignite is shutting down after the year. We're out of time in this segment to do that, but just an interesting note. Like I mentioned, we'll call up Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald here in just a sec. Stay tuned, though. We'll talk some Husker football spring game. We'll give an NBA playoffs recap from last night. Angry Luka got the Mavs on the board. We'll talk about all that and more. But first, a conversation with Evan Bland after this break. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hey, baseball fans, join the Blur Tailgate at Hilton Omaha this June for our 12th annual hospitality event during the College Baseball Championship Series. Book an experience for your clients or employees with an inclusive bar, buffet, TVs, music, and tailgate games. Secure your spot today and let Blur Events take care of all the work so you can enjoy the day. Plus, we're just steps away from Charles Schwab Field. Visit blurevents.com to book your group, buy tickets, or learn about sponsorships. That's blurevents.com, your college baseball and football tailgate destination.
Hey, Nebraska! Register today for the 40th annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint, or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
Do you need motivation to get to the gym on the weekend or even in general? Tune into the Movement Hour each Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m. Movement Academy owner Robert Kuhlman will host the show as he introduces new ways to stay in shape. The Movement Hour, every Saturday morning from 10 to 11 a.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One action, no matter how small, can have a world of impact on the life of a child. Cedar started because one couple believed that they could provide a child with a better life. And that belief grew into the Cedars that we know today, a powerful force for good that helps thousands of kids across Nebraska. Belief grows.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Nobody goes to McDonald's more than you. Nobody.
No,
every meal,
I
every call. I mean,
don't go
every meal.
Every morning you're there.
Every morning goes to McDonald's
every single day.
I do it. Oh, I go every day.
Is it?
Yeah,
How many
that's what I
times?
mean. That's a lot.
How many?
I mean, sometimes
I'm
twice
saying in the next year I go 9 times. I
That's
go
high
9.
for me. I'm not going 9
Oh,
times.
I mean,
to
7
McDonald's.
times
Yeah.
a week. 7 times a week.
That's what I mean.
Yes,
But there's a lot of
every
times
day.
though. But you go more than once a day.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm telling you. So it's
But I
500.
just get coffee.
But you go 500 times a year. That's a lot. 500 times a year. The most I'm at is 9. I'm at 9. Jake's at 4, and you're at 500.
I say 4 to 5 for myself.
So I said 9. You said 500.
Put it that way.
It is. Just do the math.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today looks like a very nice day with mainly sunny skies and calm winds, the high around 70. Tonight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise mainly cloudy, low around 51. And tomorrow, showers and storms are likely, especially in the afternoon. It'll be breezy too with the high around 64. Meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Old School with DP and J.
Nebraska and their staff, football-wise, have done a really good job of, keeping guys, happy. And then obviously they see the opportunity here. Whereas I don't think there's a general reason that you can say, okay, this is why kids are going in the portal. Now we're seeing, even when they're in really good situations for them, they still leave.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. Austin Norman, a dancing Erick Strickland. Feeling good? You saw the Mavs win?
Yeah.
How about that, Stricky?
You got that dub sack. Yeah.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that in a little bit. Kyrie cooking. Luka cooking.
Giving Paul George all that work.
All that work.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a little bit here. We go to our Allo VIP line. We welcome in Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald.
There he is.
Evan, happy Wednesday. How are you?
Happy Wednesday, guys. How's it going?
Good. Oh, sun's shining. Skies are blue.
Good news from you.
Yeah.
What news is that?
Tell us something good about Husker baseball after last night. 9-4, lost to Kansas. I mean, I don't want to just keep playing the same old song and verse, but man, another midweek loss, Evan.
Well, their uniforms looked sharp. I mean, that was,
there you go.
You had that going. The weather was good. No, I mean, it's kind of confounding. I mean, especially the midweek games. Like, I don't know that anybody has a great feel for why it is the way it is. I mean, the pitching side continues to sort of be what it is. I don't know that Nebraska right now has a fourth starter that they feel good about putting out there. But I think the more confusing part to me has been the offense's inability to support that and to keep up with it a little bit, because it's an offense that 2 days earlier scored 16 against Maryland and one that has looked pretty good at times, taking walks and stealing bases and executing hit and runs and all these different things. And so, I think, like, you look at the other side and you see, hey, Kansas doesn't necessarily have a fourth starter either. I mean, they cycled through their bullpen. They had multiple guys with ERAs of 6 or above. And so I think, that's maybe where the most frustration has been for Nebraska, is just you can't expect on a weeknight that 4 runs is going to get it done necessarily. And so that's where they are. And they've got 3 more of these to go, 2 more next week, at Creighton and against Kansas State. And then you finish out with South Dakota State. So you're close to the end of the line when you have to worry about the midweeks, but it does remind you that if you get into a regional and you're playing postseason baseball, once you get past that second or third game, right now there's just not a ton of confidence that this team can find a way to get it done if somebody other than Brett Sears or Mason McConaughey is on the mound.
Starting with the offense here, Evan, it's not like Nebraska is leaning into some junk lineup or just trying guys out. I mean, we've touted Nebraska's depth on this program and others all year long. So even if Nebraska was, going to its bench a lot on midweek games, you would feel pretty good about it. But it's not like Nebraska's running crazy lineups out there. Like, it's a lot of the weekend starters that are in the lineup for these midweek games typically, right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's their almost their identical lineup from Sunday when they ran roughshod on the Terps, and Ben Columbus tweaked a hammy on Sunday, and so he was a DH, and he goes 0 for 5. So I think some of the maybe there was a little bit of an injury component with him there, but guys have been. I think there've been some guys trying to find some answers. I mean, Garrett Anglim has been a guy who's been out there a lot trying to find some answers. Cole Evans in the outfield has been hit and miss at times. It's kind of started to feel a little bit like some of those Nebraska lineups from a few years ago, where you felt like once you got past 4 or 5, like you just weren't sure what you're going to get out of the bottom half. And it's not to say that those aren't talented players or that they won't rebound and catch fire in the second half. I think part of it's just the dog days of spring, such as they are in college baseball. The home stretch of the season's going to be here pretty quickly. There's 4 conference weekends left, and so there's still a little bit of time to kind of sort some things out and figure out roles and tweak a swing or an approach or whatever it might be. But I think that's, again, probably the most frustrating part of the up and down nature of Nebraska in the month of April has been you're just not sure what you're getting from your offense. And again, sometimes that reflects on the bullpen with some late games that have gotten away. But I would say, and I think the coaches would say, that sometimes those situations came about in the first place because the offense maybe wasn't able to extend a lead or wasn't able to get a clutch hit or whatever it might be. So I think when you talk about, the ceiling for Nebraska in the next month and a half, it starts with how much can that offense generate? How versatile can it be? And quite simply, can it get a few clutch hits to take the pressure off of the pitching side?
You mentioned this kind of being the dog days of the college baseball season, and that makes sense. You're not at the end of the season, but you're not at the beginning of the season anymore. But Evan, at some point, it feels like it's almost a trend these last few years with Nebraska baseball, getting kind of bogged down in the dog days, not rising above it, and especially in the midweek. Is it becoming a trend, or am I off base on that?
Yeah, I mean, the midweeks have been a struggle. There's no doubt about it. And, my colleague Tom Chattel would tell you that he thinks maybe midweeks in college baseball should just go away entirely. And I don't know that I can disagree with that too much. What other sport do you have kind of random non-conference games sprinkled in during the conference season? It's just kind of how it is. And you get some weird results, right? Like you see Wake Forest top 10 team lose to Elon on Tuesday night. And you see, it's not unusual to see these kind of crazy out of left field upsets on Tuesdays and Wednesdays in college baseball. So I think some of it is just sort of what it is. But when you do look up and you see, hey, Creighton's, won whatever it is, 10 of 12 or 11 of 13 against Nebraska, and they've struggled against other teams in the midweek. Omaha last year, and now this year they're swept by Kansas. You do have to kind of, I think, zoom out and look at maybe what the trends are a little bit. And I don't know if it's psychological, if it's a talent thing. I still think that there's more depth on this team than they've had in a couple of years, and usually it does manifest itself in those midweeks with a fourth starter, with different offensive pieces that you can plug into a lineup on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And it just, for whatever reason, they haven't been able to put it all together. And I think the fascinating part is you contrast that with what they've done on the weekends. They've won 8 of the 10 weekends, which would tell you the pitching is pretty top heavy. They get up for the big series, but they still have an issue on those Tuesdays and Wednesdays when maybe the adrenaline's not as sharp or there's not as much tangibly on the line. They just have a tougher time being consistent in those games.
You mentioned winning the weekend, and Nebraska did bounce back then in a pretty big way against Maryland. More good Brett Sears on Friday. Mason McConaughey, uncharacteristically flat, I think, on Saturday. But then talk about the response on Sunday for Nebraska to go in, staring down the barrel of losing 2 straight weekend series against comparable teams, but to not just win, but run rule Maryland on Sunday.
Yeah, I thought it was, at the time, one of the sneaky big games of the year that Nebraska's played, because if you drop that game, you fall off pace in the Big Ten race and what you're trying to do. There's starting to be a little bit more of a trend. It would have happened at home. And just the way that things went Saturday, you kind of wonder, just human nature, if that thing was going to snowball a little bit and maybe one loss would turn into 2 or 3. And so clearly that's not what happened. The offense was, I thought, as crisp and energetic as it's been in any game this year. I thought Will Walsh was a revelation as a starter. I mean, he hadn't been in that Sunday role since the first couple weeks of the season. He comes out and gives Nebraska some length, was dominant into the 6th inning when they already had a good lead built up. So I just thought, I thought it was a really important response, just in part because these 2 weeks at home, this 8-game homestand they're going to finish against Iowa this weekend, needed to be a time where you made up some ground and you maybe recouped a couple of the games that got away from you in the month of April. And so I still think you go into this weekend with Iowa, which was a preseason favorite in the Big Ten, which is scuffled, which really its only path to the NCAA tournament right now is by winning the Big Ten postseason event. I think Nebraska feels pretty good when you have Sears out there and McConaughey and most likely Will Walsh on Sunday. That's still a team that can win a conference. That's still a team that can be competitive in a regional. And so, I mean, certainly the midweeks, I think, have exposed some depth issues and maybe some mindset issues. But until they start faltering on the weekends, I don't think you can really mash that panic button. And I think Nebraska's response on Sunday was a reminder of that.
Evan, Michigan State and Minnesota are the 2 series Nebraska has left on the road, but Iowa this weekend and then Indiana rather, in 2 weekends. How important is it for Nebraska to have the 2 teams at home that it does here down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, those were the 2 teams or 2 of the teams that went to the NCAA tournament out of the Big Ten, Iowa and Indiana, and kind of different teams in some ways. Iowa at least was known for its pitching early on. It's become more of a mashing team. Indiana, I suppose, is kind of the same way now. They've kind of struggled to find their groove on the pitching side too. So you would expect actually probably some pretty high scoring series at Haymarket Park in those games. But Minnesota's struggled. Michigan State has never really been much of a baseball power in the Big Ten. So you figure, if you can just keep pace and win every series, history would tell you in the time that the Big Ten has been a 13-team baseball conference, that if you win 16 or 17 games, you're going to be in contention to win the conference, and you'll probably win the conference. And so Nebraska's on pace for that at 8-4. You're winning 2 out of every 3 games at this point. I think that's really the goal moving forward. Win every series, or if you get a sweep, then maybe that affords you a little bit of a buffer in another weekend. But I think Nebraska's right at the pace that it wants to be. And so, to have Iowa and Indiana coming to Lincoln, and then maybe being able to go on the road against Minnesota and Michigan State, where conventional wisdom would say Nebraska should be the heavy favorite, it does put you in a good spot to be right in the thick of that league race going into that last weekend in East Lansing.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday series with Iowa, as per usual, for a weekend series. Is there a chance the spring game is limited to 2 hours to get fans from Memorial Stadium in the spring game to Haymarket for that Iowa series?
In theory. I mean, we don't exactly know what the format's going to be for the spring game yet. I think Matt Rule's probably going to lay that out tomorrow when he talks with reporters. But, I guess we'll see. Maybe it could be in 2 hours and fans will filter over. Typically, when Nebraska's had baseball on the same weekend, they've pushed it back a little bit. It's been it would be like a 2 or 3 o'clock start or something like that. But I guess they felt like condensing it was the move, or maybe they didn't want to move the start time for baseball. I'm not exactly sure how all those logistics played out, but I would think, if nothing else, if you go to, half of the spring game or 3/4, you probably have seen what you want to see at that point. You can migrate on over to Haymarket Park and see what should be a pretty entertaining baseball game too.
On the spring game front, Evan, I've been asking different people this question over the last couple of days and the text line as well, but I want your thoughts. From the Nebraska offense standpoint, would it be a better sign to you if the rush game is clicking in the spring game or the passing game?
The passing game, I think, just because you need to see an ability to execute a pitch and catch. Like, I think that's been one of the things that's held Nebraska back for a few years now. I mean, you think about how many games in the fall have opposing defenses stacked the box and just dared Nebraska to make a play over the top or to execute a screen or a swing pass. And it just hasn't happened. And so I think that would be the most encouraging thing to see is, can, Daniel Kalin and Dylan Raiola and Heinrich Harburg complete some short to intermediate catches? Can they hit guys in stride? Can they have some touch on their passes when they need to? Can they read the defense quickly and go and put the ball where it needs to be? I think that would be maybe one of the more encouraging things you can take out of the spring game. I think the run game continues to be a work in progress anyway. Gabe Ervin's not going to be full go for the spring game like he will be in the fall. And then you have, just kind of the nature of your first live tackling, at least to the ground. They haven't done a ton of that like they're going to do in the fall. So I think you can take some things away from what they do in the running game, but I do think the passing side is going to be more, I guess, closer simulated to what we're going to see in the fall.
We heard from EJ Barthel yesterday. What did you take away from his comments on his room?
Well, I think he's changed his tune on the value of depth at that position, right? Like he hasn't gotten over, I don't think, the experience of losing your top two guys in one game, the way that Gabe Ervin and Ramir Johnson went down early last year. So I think it's I thought his thoughts on the idea of like, okay, they don't have a clear feature back, or maybe impacted by that experience that they had last year. And so I think it's such a fascinating room to look at, because you can look at it and say, man, it continues to be a long time since Nebraska's had that alpha, that clear workhorse at that position. But I think on the other hand, they do feel like there's some depth there with some of the upperclassmen, as well as Dante Dowdell, who's new to the room. They still like Quentin Ives. Emmett Johnson maybe has been receiving the most spring praise of anybody this set of practices these last couple of months. So I think they like their depth. They're maybe cautiously optimistic about who that guy could be at the top. But my sense is he wasn't overly concerned about that, and they feel like they can get this thing done in a committee approach.
You've seen bits and pieces of practice, I'm sure, and I know they've opened the gates up a little bit. Which running back do you think gives Nebraska's running game the highest ceiling this coming season?
Well, I think Emmett Johnson has maybe shown at this moment that he can be the most versatile in terms of catching passes, pass blocking, and then making plays with his legs too. Gabe Ervin certainly has the ability, but now he's coming off of 2 serious leg injuries in his college career. So how does he come back? Ramir Johnson, I think we've seen flashes of what he can do. That Michigan game from a couple of years ago always comes to mind as one where maybe he was at the height of his powers. So he's somebody who's kind of interesting, because I think Nebraska could maybe use him in a different way than he was used the last couple of years. But I guess I just think in terms of all-around ability to impact the game in different areas, right now it'd be Emmett Johnson. And so it's a testament to his ability. You think about kind of the silver linings from those injuries last year, and one of the big ones was all that experience he got in the Big Ten in the second half of the season. And so now he comes in kind of knowing where he needs to get better, having that experience, and maybe he's somebody who, if he's not going to be at the top of all Big Ten watch lists, I think he's still someone who could be, a pretty big impact for Nebraska's offense.
Evan Bland of the Omaha World Herald with us here on our Allo VIP line. Follow Evan on Twitter, omaha.com, to read Evan's work and that of his colleagues, our friends there at the World Herald. Evan, appreciate your time as always. Hope to see you at Memorial Stadium then on Saturday.
Sounds good. Can't wait. Thanks for chatting. See you.
Anytime. Once again, Evan joined us on our VIP line, brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We'll wrap up hour 1 with a quick overview of last night's NBA action before jumping back into the Husker football conversation in hour 2 here during On the Block.
Spring in Nebraska brings green grass and warmer weather, but it also brings severe storms which can cause damage to your home. Meadowlark Exterior specializes in hail, storm, and wind damage restoration, as well as roofing, siding, and gutters for commercial or residential buildings. Meadowlark Exteriors focuses on fine craftsmanship and proves that in their attention to detail. They offer free roof inspections and estimates and insurance claim assistance, serving the Lincoln and Omaha surrounding areas. Call today at 402-875-2956 or go to meadowlarkexteriors.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Coppell. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Hey, Nebraska! Register today for the 40th Annual Cornhusker State Games, taking place July 11th through the 21st in Lincoln, Omaha, and other Nebraska communities. The Cornhusker State Games features 70 sports for athletes of all ages and abilities. Price increases are approaching, so register early and save. For details, go to cornhuskerstategames.com. If you've experienced a sports injury, joint or back pain, trust your care to Nebraska Orthopedic Center, a proud platinum partner of the Cornhusker State Games.
The Mill Coffee and Tea, formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations. Guess what?
What?
There's 5 Lincoln locations now. Oh my gosh. That's 25% more Lincoln locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11th, located right alongside 93.7 The Ticket Studios, 1040 O Street.
Hey, Husker Nation, Matt Davison here with 1890. It's an exciting time to be a Husker fan, and to keep that momentum going, we need your help. Nebraska has always been a leader in college athletics, and we're doing the same through name, image, and likeness. NIL is a unique opportunity for every Husker fan to have a direct impact on the success of our programs. Through 1890, 100% of your contribution goes to the student athletes. So go to 1890nebraska.com, choose your sport, become a member, and help the Huskers recruit and retain the best. Go Big Red.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Women may be complicated, but I make sure buying jewelry isn't. Your gal has a style, and you can figure this out. Is she more of a classic necklace kind of gal, or does she rock the boho chic vibe with layers of delicate bracelets? This is crucial intel. Not trusting your intel? Stop in the store and we'll sort out the details. I promise to make this super easy. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Breathe easier inside your home with Bryant. Eliminate allergens and odors and control humidity too. For a breath of fresh air, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today looks like a very nice day with mainly sunny skies and calm winds, and a high around 70. Tonight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise mainly cloudy, low around 51. And tomorrow, showers and storms are likely, especially in the afternoon. It'll be breezy too, with a high around 64. Meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
Here you go. Coffee's on me and my new BFF. I thought I was your best friend forever. BFF like best financial friend at Members Own Credit Union. Right now, they're offering $100 when you consolidate or transfer a loan or an existing credit card balance and meet requirements. Plus, you get great rates and free advice from a financial partner that will put you first. That sounds like a match made in heaven. Members Own Credit Union is the type of bestie you can count on. Get started today at memberzonecu.org/BFF. Limitations may apply. Equal housing opportunity.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
One final segment here in hour one of On the Block. Big thanks to Evan Blaine for joining us in our last segment. I'm Austin Norman. Erick Strickland here with me. Leaning into the NBA side here of Stricky's brain. Stricky, the Mavs won a defensive battle. Don't see much of those between the Mavericks and the Clippers. 96-93. Dallas is on the board. And hey, look at this. We have a series.
Yeah, and that's what I expected. I mean, whether they got it in game one or whether they got it in game two, it's good they got it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't remember if you said it. You said that this wasn't a good matchup that you liked for Dallas. What was that?
Did I say that?
Did you say that?
No, I think that was the other games I said that for.
Okay.
I said this one should be a good matchup.
Okay.
Between these teams.
Yeah, I think this is a well matched group. I mean, like I said, some of these series are going to be kind of like I don't think the Thunder Pelicans is going to be one that's tough. I think the Celtics have enough to take care of business against the Heat.
Stricky, they're 14.5-point favorites tonight.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just think they have just too much. Depending on how things go in Philly, we just don't know how that's going to go. But I don't have great cause to say that they have a lot to bring to the table there. The one that I'm like, again, I'm surprised, but yet not surprised by is the Minnesota.
Up 2-0 right now, Stricky.
Surprised, not surprised. Durant for some reason just hasn't been able to take a team that he's the head honcho and do anything with it. And so I don't see anything different. Booker, same.
Mm-hmm.
Then you add Beal, who has kind of been, it's like you have a bunch of talented, haven't been able to get you over the hump type of guys there with no out on being able to upgrade it because you're so marginalized in what you have as far as going over the salary cap and
getting rid of all your draft picks.
Yeah, you have nothing to offer. So you're literally stuck in a rut of being mediocre and in the middle of the pack there.
Beal had some interesting comments after the game last night, but to your point, he didn't elevate the Wizards really when he was there.
Yeah.
He and Wall could have been a super dynamic duo, but injuries to Wall, a lot of shots between those two. Durant, we talked about him, best served as a beta, not the alpha.
Yeah.
And that's where I think Phoenix missed the mark. It's okay to acquire those guys, but then there needs to be no doubt that you're joining Devin Booker, right? Devin Booker doesn't need to take a back seat because Booker, I think, helped elevate the Suns when they made the finals against the Bucks alongside Chris Paul, but they knew that they were going to Devin Booker at the end of the game. They had more depth. Even Ayton played okay in that finals run.
Yep.
So I don't even hate, Phoenix going all in. I hate them not putting the ball in Devin Booker's hands more and saying, this is your team, go lead it.
Yeah. I don't know if that comes from management. I don't know if it comes from ownership. I don't know, because obviously there was a switch in ownership and there were some things that the new owner wanted and got and so forth, but now it's stuck. They're definitely not in a situation like OKC.
They're
Do
the
they have
anti-Thunder.
anything to all? Yeah, they really do, because it's a bunch of elderly statesmen outside of Booker, but you have great young talent with Chet and Shea. You wouldn't want to take even Booker at this point. Like, that does you no good to give up your assets for. Or we're good. We're number one with what we working with. So there's really nowhere they can look to. Well, there are probably some places out there, but who would?
Why would anyone?
No, Durant he's overstayed his welcome at this point. And what teams though? So let's throw that out there. I mean, what teams right now with elderly statesmen? Because your boy is going to be looking to do something after this early exit once again, because he's not going to want to continue to take they don't give him the brunt. They always push the failures off on other people, and it's never him. But I'm not saying who. If you know, we don't want A. Foreman all in his feelings today.
He's going to be when he walks in. There was some pot stirring going on.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
I'm not saying it's not facts. I'm just saying there's some pot stirring going on.
What teams, that's why I'm asking you, what teams that you look at that have elderly statesmen have something to offer? I personally think if you're going to do something in Golden State, it's not going to be Clay. You're going to have to do it with Steph. But you want him to probably retire there.
Right.
But if you want to upgrade, you're going to have to do it with Steph. There's Draymond's not going to get you there. Clay's not going to get you there. I don't even think Kuminga or any of the younger guys, Podzinski, maybe a little bit, but not a good drawback.
Right.
That's one I would throw out. Definitely, we talked about Phoenix. I think the Clippers are in the same boat. Outside of Giannis, Middleton, Brook, none of them really give it to you.
Dame.
Not even Dame at this point. Dame even at this point doesn't. Maybe to Miami, but again, that you saw what happened with that.
Knicks?
Knicks do. They've got a nice core, but I don't think they're going to want to get rid of them now. They've got the UConn special going on.
Nova.
Oh, the Nova special. That's what I meant. Yeah.
But can James Dolan resist? He goes after one of these guys every offseason, Stricky. Can he resist?
He does, but you're second. I think he's going to evaluate what type of run they make right here. I think if they get to the conference finals now, I think they run it back.
Okay.
I think they run it back.
Okay.
Cleveland has something to offer. I think Spider's definitely somebody.
Well, he's leaving after this offseason, most likely.
You know
so there's
what I mean?
space.
So there's room, there's space. I think there's something to do sign and trade wise with him. But the Lakers are going to be looking to try to do something, obviously, because I don't believe that the Lakers are going to take Bronny.
No, they better not.
Not even a flyer on that situation. At this point, I think they're probably, felt he's overstayed the welcome. He may end up trying to go back to Cleveland.
How about that?
I mean, who would take him at this point that would want to do his bidding? Probably the team that got you the championship.
Probably. But again, what if the Knicks are done with Julius Randle and then get LeBron?
Well, LeBron's looking for a dual player. He's looking for somebody who's going to want to play ball with definitely getting his son involved. No one believes his son is ready to come.
No.
But
Max Christie is better than Bronny right now.
Someone will take a flyer just because. I mean, a second round pick is not going to hurt you.
Right.
You can two-way him, throw him. You can do him just like what you did. Dwayne Wade's your boy. Send him on down to Utah. That's the homie. You send him there, let him get some run, whatever. But that's the way I would probably envision it going.
Last game to shout out here. Last player to shout out. How about Pascal Siakam? Went nuts for the second game in a row for the Pacers. Halliburton was better, but that might be the under the radar move here.
That was a great move.
Was awesome.
That was a great acquisition for him. I think he's a good style fit for them as well. Definitely a two-way, dual threat, a former All-Star. He's definitely somebody who helps to raise that bar and that level. I never thought it was going to be at the center position with
Turner.
With Miles Turner. Never thought it was going to be there. Thought Halliburton is a tremendous asset to have, just size and versatility and the way that he plays the game. But adding Pascal, I think Pascal's a good fit as not having to be that number one option, but fitting right in there between that 2, 1B, where he can do his thing at times.
That was going to be the last thing we mentioned, but Latex Mallard from MySpace, I think, gives us a good laugh going to break. If the Nuggets don't win, do they blow it up and get KD to pair with Joker? Why would you do that?
I don't think that makes sense.
Why would you do that?
Why would you blow it up? You have great surrounding players. None of them are killing you at the bank. They got guys that want to be there. I don't think you do that.
You bring KD in to play Michael Porter Jr.'s role, but you already have him under contract. He was raised there, and he's better at that role already.
He's raised there, and he's better at that role, and he plays D.
Right. Yeah, that makes no sense. Latex Mallard from MySpace.
No.
Appreciate the thought. All right, Stricky. After the break, you got your movies. Yesterday, you gave me some crap, told me I could not have pulled Molly Ringwald back in the 80s. So
but I want to know this. Do you want movies or do you want movies that gross? Like
all of them. On the full list.
Okay, yeah. We'll throw a little bit of everything out there then.
We'll dive into the movie list, the low budget, high earning movies. Reggie Bush gets his Heisman back. We'll talk about that and some Nebraska spring game talk all ahead here in hour 2 of On the Block.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Ever stare at the Hog Wild menu and feel like you just can't make up your mind because it all looks so good? Well, when I want a little bit of everything, I get a little bit of everything on Hog Wild Smokestack Sandwich. On a butter-toasted bun, we pile on our hickory smoked beef brisket and juicy hot links. The hard part is choosing between fresh curly fries, classic baked beans, or coleslaw on the side. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
For all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com. If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Spring is here, and Acres is offering special financing on select new John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Visit your nearest Acres store and test drive all the latest John Deere turf equipment and attachments. And for a limited time, with the purchase of a new John Deere mower, get up to $200 to apply to the steel power tool of your choice. From trimmers to chainsaws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Offer expires April 30, 2024. Subject to approved credit by John Deere Financial.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and our annual spring sales event is now underway. We have absolutely huge savings right now at Koppel. New Sierras and new Silverados have a double whammy. Choose from APR starting at 1.9% or discounts over $9,000. Yes, that's right, 1.9% APR or discounts of over $9,000. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street just south of the interstate, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Breathe easier inside your home with Bryant. Eliminate allergens and odors and control humidity too. For a breath of fresh air, call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Women may be complicated, but I make sure buying jewelry isn't. Your gal has a style, and you can figure this out. Is she more of a classic necklace kind of gal, or does she rock the boho chic vibe with layers of delicate bracelets? This is crucial intel. Not trusting your intel? Stop in the store and we'll sort out the details. I promise to make this super easy. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Old School with DP and J.
Nebraska and their staff, football-wise, have done a really good job of, keeping guys, happy. And then obviously they see the opportunity here. Whereas I don't think there's a general reason that you can say, okay, this is why kids are going in the portal. Now we're seeing, even when they're in really good situations for them, they still leave.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Erick Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
This is On the Block. I'm Austin. He's Strick. We are indeed brought to you by NEPCO. NEPCO and constructors are hiring for all positions with immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. Laborers have wages starting at $23 and up based on experience. You can visit nebcoinc.com or constructorslincoln.com to learn more. Right now, it's pull up, let's Stricky cook. If you missed it yesterday at 2:30, we managed to get into the Breakfast Club and found out that it had approximately $1 million budget and grossed $51.5 million. Stricky's a movie buff here. Even though you gave me crap yesterday, you're my partner. I expect it from you. Keep it coming if you have to. We're going to let you cook here, Stricky. You're the movie buff. What are some of those movies, like The Breakfast Club, that had a low budget that brought in a lot of money?
So, here's one. And when you look at these movies sometimes, right? Sometimes it's spurned. The interest is, I think, is spurned by way of your connectivity to the British Crown, or for example, your identification with high school and what it was like to be on detention, or
I wouldn't know
your fears and your worries about certain things is kind of how some movies end up hitting, right? So for example, this one called The King's Speech. It was directed by Tom Hooper. It starred Colin Firth, and this movie was put together on a $15 million budget. It deals with basically the life of Queen Elizabeth's father, King George IV, which, there's a lot of intrigue there. It drew of some awards like Academy Awards, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Original Screenplay, and it amassed over $424 million worldwide.
Over 15 mil budget?
15 mil budget. That's a killer win there. A movie that some people kind of got into, but it's very supernatural. It's very, suspenseful. And it's a movie called Insidious. Insidious was one. It's a horror film in that genre. It was put together on a budget of just $1.5 million. I think that's kind of around the area that they believe that to be. And then it was baffling. A lot of people didn't believe that it would be a hit, but it literally was, to the tune of over $100 million that it earned. That's crazy. And some have seen the second ones and some seen the other ones. Then you have some of your favorite movies, some that you've seen that starred, like back in the day, in the early 90s, there was a movie called The Terminator, directed by James Cameron. Terminator was put together, and your guy Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it, and Arnold portrayed himself as a futuristic guy, came back trying to basically take out the guy who was going to run the futuristic world, and ends up getting murked behind it.
Are you a James Cameron fan?
I like some of his stuff. Okay. It's $6.4 million on that one, gross $78 million. That's one that I thought was a pretty good one. A classic one, not going to get too into it, just the numbers in itself, but I know a lot of you people have seen Wes Craven's Nightmare on Elm Street. That was one of my favorite movies because it brought like kind of humor to it, with a little bit of, things that you thought about, dreams that you had, and you're like, wait, that dream felt kind of real. And it just kind of sparked that up a little bit, but put together on $1.1 million. I thought, I can understand by the sweater he wore. But I thought the makeup was pretty good. I thought they did a pretty good job with making him up some of those scenes. Johnny Depp was one who kind of set his star on the map out of that movie, grossed $57 million. That's one that I thought was pretty interesting. And some would look at this one. Jordan Peele, coming onto the scene, he had a movie called Get Out. The Sunken Place. A lot of people still talk about some of that stuff right there. This movie was put together on just $4.5 million, Austin.
Whoa.
Made over $255 million worldwide.
Jeez.
33 in the first week. So it almost just 10x'd its
in 7 days.
Its number in 7 days. So that's one of the phenomenal ones. Some loved Napoleon Dynamite. Just the numbers weren't as big back then. But that popped out. A classic movie in the 90s. Quentin Tarantino. He was good early on, kind of got weird in some of the movies that he was doing. But the one that really popped off for him was Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Pulp Fiction out of the 90s. Iconic. John Travolta was in it. Samuel L. Jackson. Bruce Willis. Some iconic names. Ving Rhames. Uma Thurman, a lot of Tim Roth, those guys are all in that movie. $8 million budget. How much you think it hit for?
Hit for $200 million.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad?
Not a bad guess. It actually hit for, oh, shoot, I just had it. Oh, okay, there it is. $213.9 million. Good.
Okay.
Good lick. Good lick. And I'll do a couple more. Some of you guys love the Halloween movies. That was one. The budget was like $300,000 on that one.
$300,000?
$300,000. But the money was a little bit different back then.
That's
I think that was in the
bad.
late 70s. So 70 million there is definitely hundreds of millions now.
Right.
So it's relative. And then look, let's get to the King of Kings. The movies that were kings. This is a movie I love, by the way. Mad Max. Early Mel Gibson to me was dope. Friday the 13th, classics, $500,000 budget. But let's get to the kings.
Then the frauds right now.
The kings and then the
frauds.
frauds.
Okay.
The king
The
is Star
LeBrons
Wars.
and the
No, negative. He's not in the Star Wars category. Star Wars, George Lucas, they put that together, multi-billion-dollar franchise. They put that together, and I think it's one of the highest grossing films of all time. And it was bought, literally just bought, for over 770. The franchise was.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even what it's made, but it was actually purchased for that amount. That's a King franchise that was absolutely taken in the midst of that. And another one is you would actually be quite surprised by.
Hit me with it.
James Wan, director of Saw.
Really?
Saw was only put together on a budget. Its initial start to the franchise at $1.2 million. It hit for over 100, 10Xs. Hits for over 100, but now it's $1 billion. All 8 of the films are over $1.1 billion as far as a franchise. So think of where you started to where you've come to. And there's not really much change. Some additions, maybe some effects, but
right.
You're not going crazy on a budget. It's not like Avatar or anything like that where you're throwing this crazy hundreds of millions of dollar budget out there because of what you had to do. And The Last King, I'm going to throw out. And then we would love your thoughts on some of the movies you believe in, but Rocky. Sylvester Stallone hit a lick with Rocky. It was super cheap, just around maybe $1 million on the original. It was this franchise was bought out $225 million. I'm sorry, it brought $225 million worldwide off of $1 million budget. Crazy.
Dang.
And it's hit for 3 Oscars. It's won Best Picture. This film was put together in 1976. And the franchise itself has come up with $1.9 billion over the course of the whole franchise.
And that's just the Rockies, not the Creeds?
Rockies.
Wow. Not bad for a $1 million first investment.
Now,
we need the frauds, Stricky.
The frauds.
Bring them on. You just got the King's List. The frauds.
The fraud is this one right here. If you can guess, do we got a giveaway? Do we got some tickets or something to give away?
We can do 2 passes to Eagle Raceway.
2 passes to Eagle Raceway
Good,
is what
season.
We got right now, all season. Check this out. I want to know who you think the fraud movie of the century is that amassed a huge amount of money. Budget was ridiculously cheap, but boy, oh boy, did they break the bank. But it was a horrible, horrible, horrible film. 402
Chandler Parsons
464-5685. Shout it out or get on the stream, any of the platforms. I want to know real quickly who you thought it was. I'm going to give one more before I tell you who this fraud was.
Okay, we have guesses for The Avengers.
No.
Waterworld.
Ooh, dang, that's a good guess, but no.
Okay, keep the guesses coming.
Keep them coming. So, yeah, Rocky was phenomenal. Then you go back to some of the old movies. I think you go back to the old movies because just the budgets were so cheap back then compared to what they are now. So a lot of the old movies like The Clerks, movies like Eraserhead or Badlands, these movies, like, they hit because the budgets just weren't magnanimous like they are now. Like for a movie like, for example, Paranormal Activity, that goes back to that genre spurn of interest that pops off because a lot of people are interested in UFOs and crazy activities, and they're seeing now videos more than ever on things that are happening out there. This budget for Paranormal Activity was $15,000. Yes, sir.
15
you could do a
grand?
movie, $15,000 on this movie. Guess how much it hit for?
175 mil.
193 million.
Dang.
Worldwide. Crazy.
For 15 grand.
15 grand. And Paranormal Activity 2, this goes back to what I was saying. When you don't have a significant change in what you're doing, there's not really much that you need to add. The second one, the sequel, is $3 million. While the third was only made for $5 million. So it's like your movie's earning in the 200 million, 100 million, and they want to see what you're able to accomplish or do more of. You're not making these movies for crazy amounts, so regardless, you're winning. Once you build a style to it outside of the fraudulence. Any other thoughts on the frauds?
Let me think here. Colgan J says Paranormal Activity scared me to death. Fraud list, we have Jurassic Park, Sharknado, or Battlefield Earth?
There's somebody that hit. Battlefield Earth was I actually like that one. Good guess, though. Somebody hit.
Who hit?
Unnamed texter, I need your name.
8299?
0609.
Oh, okay.
What is the name of that, Austin?
Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project is a fraud.
Really?
The movie was absolutely horrible.
But it was cheap.
Was garbage. And its budget was $60,000. All you needed to do was take somebody's camera, take it out into the freaking woods, and bounce around. It gave me a headache. It was the worst movie ever. $60 million budget. $60,000 budget. It made 4,000 times its original budget. Dang. $250 million at the box office, and it was absolutely garbage. And people were feeling like this is kind of like in the start of what social media was.
Mm-hmm.
So
MySpace.
It wasn't enough to go viral for people to kill the garbage of this movie because they did a wonderful job. Yes, their budget was what it was, but they did a magnificent job of promo. Like they had you thinking that something was about to jump off. It was real. Could it be? They had the promo was phenomenal, but it was absolutely garbage movie. And if you watched it, you garbage too. No, I'm just playing.
Oh, that's fighting words.
I watched it. I'm garbage then. I watched that garbage. I watched that garbage.
Got a vote in there for My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Mm-hmm. That's a big hitter. I mean, it hit. That was one of the ones that hit. Mm-hmm.
Never saw that one either.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Try to see some other options being thrown out here. First, Ghostbusters.
Hold on. Oh, you know what?
What?
Wait, hold on. 3014. Actually, the winner is Culligan J. He came in at 314.
He did.
Unnamed texter 0609 came in at 322. Okay, Culligan J, you know what time it is. You hit. You did hit. He hit.
Guess what? We got plenty of passes.
We got plenty of both of
passes.
them get it.
To Eagle Raceway. Come pick them up.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Hey, good list.
Yeah, man.
I like that, Stricky.
There it is.
Which of those do I have to watch first?
See, I haven't been able to pick up what style of movie you are. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe I don't have a genre. Just to throw them out there. Just the best movies, and I'll see if they're my genre.
Like, for me, the Mad Max stuff was dope. It was classic.
Okay.
If you're into scary, Saw, Get Out, suspense, check that. I thought Mad Max was kind of dope. It had like a nice little storyline to it about the family and, how he wanted to get revenge and so forth and so on. So that was good. You haven't seen Pulp Fiction?
I've seen Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
Yes.
You've seen Pulp Fiction. Yeah. I would have recommended Pulp Fiction.
That's a good one.
A
couple times.
They had Supersize Me on here. I mean, there's just one guy going around eating McDonald's. I mean, he
saw
hit.
that one. Yep.
He hit.
Was it worth it? Is the question.
That's the part. Like, he said he had some health problems.
I would
ultimately
assume so.
That popped off. If you haven't seen Insidious, I think that was one. Slumdog Millionaire was probably one that was, different culture wise. One of the other frauds kind of to me, I think, is Open Water. That was kind of like Waterworld to me. Very suspect. Yeah. So those are a few of them. I mean, you still haven't seen Molly Ringwald, your girlfriend, yet.
So I did get her. 24 hours. What a difference 24 hours can make. I did it.
You did.
I appreciate that. Let's take a break. Maybe get back on track with sports. Keep your movies coming in too, though. Again, the movies that were cheap to make but brought in a lot of money. We'll definitely keep going over that throughout the show. Back with more after this.
Keep summer green with Judson Baleen and Judson Irrigation. More than 40 years ago, Judson Irrigation started taking in orphans. Lawn sprinkler systems installed by a quickie, cheapy summer job, install 'em and forget 'em outfit, long forgotten. Call Judson Irrigation. They'll never forget you.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Tune in every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. for the Malone Radio Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Don't miss the opportunity to learn about the Malone Community Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln and the surrounding area. It's the Malone Radio Show with Executive Director John Goodwin and Sports Director Mike Hunter every Wednesday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is the perfect place to watch your favorite MLB teams this spring and summer, as well as Nebraska baseball. Enjoy Tanner's delicious hamburgers, chicken lips, and daily specials, and wash it down with one of their tons of options of beers. You'll never have an issue finding the game, as there are TVs everywhere throughout the space. So get in early and grab your spot and settle in for an afternoon or evening of baseball at Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill.
The need in our community, if you just look at the numbers, it's frightening. We're serving over 1,000 kids every day. With the passion of our people, I really feel like our potential to be of even greater service to kids and families who are struggling is just unlimited. But in order to have the greatest impact, we need all the help we can get from the community.
Okay, it's time to sell the house. How do we even begin to choose from the hundreds of realtors in town?
Easy. We make a pros list.
You mean a pros and cons list?
No, just a pros list. We need someone with pro photography to showcase the house in the best possible way, pro marketing to make sure we get maximum exposure, pro negotiations so we know we get the best price.
This is one of those times where you already know the right answer, isn't it?
You know it is. Ben Bleicher and Professional Realty Group.
Contact Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's Home Services Ambassador. Online at prg-ne.com.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first.
At Doane University, your future is uniquely yours, and our world-class liberal arts education is just the beginning.
We invite you to schedule your campus visit and experience why Doane University will start you on your journey to your future career.
Learn more by scheduling your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit. See you soon.
Spring is here, and Acres is offering special financing on select new John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Visit your nearest Acres store and test drive all the latest John Deere turf equipment and attachments. And for a limited time, with the purchase of a new John Deere mower, get up to $200 to apply to the steel power tool of your choice. From trimmers to chainsaws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Offer expires April 30, 2024. Subject to approved credit by John Deere Financial.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The Lincoln forecast for today looks like a very nice day with mainly sunny skies and calm winds and a high around 70. Tonight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise mainly cloudy, low around 51. And tomorrow, showers and storms are likely, especially in the afternoon. It'll be breezy too with a high around 64. Meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Appreciate y'all and your involvement on our Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, as well as on our YouTube stream. D-Man and Wade, appreciate you guys chiming in there on YouTube. Big thanks to Starter Heyman for all they do in supporting us here at 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Austin. Strick to my left. Strick, our long national nightmare is over. What nightmare is that? Reggie Bush has his Heisman back.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Came out about 9:30 this morning.
Yeah, glad for him, man, because I think it was, especially with where things are now, with NIL and listen, I venture to say that there were more people that probably had had worse things that they did. Heck, they didn't even take OJ's Heisman,
Right.
after what happened, transpired with that whole situation. I felt bad for him, and now he's able to go back to some of these events. I like that he took his stance. I mean, he pretty much took his stance and stayed 10 toes down on it and didn't move and didn't waver, and ultimately got the judgment that he felt was warranted.
You mentioned the day and age, and that seems to be, the rationale behind reinstating him. But let's think back through this whole saga. So let's go back to 2001, right? NIL is put in place, and it's a new system. So it's at that point Reggie Bush says, hey, if these student athletes are about to get paid, I may as well see if I can get my Heisman back. So he goes for it, and the Heisman board, trust, whatever it is, says, okay, if the NCAA reinstates your record, gives you your numbers back, we'll give you the Heisman back. NCAA said, nope, not doing that. Sorry, Reggie Bush. So he went a few years without hearing a lot about it, and then was it just last fall or last summer we were talking about Reggie Bush and the Heisman Trust saying, okay, if you can get every living Heisman winner to sign off on you getting your Heisman back, we'll give it to you. Reggie Bush essentially said,
I'm not doing that.
Why would I?
Yeah.
Why would I need to? What's the need for that?
Yeah.
Well, we get to today, and I'm sure this has been under, some sort of, process, right? I'm sure it wasn't just a decision on a whim, but the trust president of the Heisman Trophy, Michael Comerford, said, we are thrilled to welcome Reggie Bush back to the Heisman family in recognition of his collegiate accomplishments. And then this part. We considered the enormous changes in college athletics over the last several years in deciding that now is the right time to reinstate the trophy for Reggie. We are so happy to welcome him back. Okay,
Yeah.
but then why did we need the step of him getting all these signatures? Like NIL hasn't substantially changed across the country from last summer to now. So I feel like last summer could have been the time you could have saved a whole lot of hand wringing and, pearl clutching over this whole situation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, Reggie Bush arguably may be one of the best collegiate football players to have played the game. Arguably, you could throw that out there. And for this to happen again, this to me is one of those NCAA things where they try to have more bark than bite, where they try to put it out there for sometimes it's not always the best team, but it's something that's notable enough to get them to kind of pacify, feel good, or put people on notice. So they go high enough, but not to hurt
the bottom line,
the brand, or anything like that. I mean, they used to do that back in the day, where they used to go after they didn't care. They used to go after your SMUs. They used to put death penalties on damn near everybody.
Right.
But Reggie Bush seems to be like, he was a nice guy, well-spoken, was able to integrate into, it was a name, it was a person that was big enough to cause a discussion to be talked about with it. And that's the part that I hated about it, because you can't tell me that others, or Johnny Manziel or people like that didn't have. Come on, man.
Like, why was Johnny Manziel doing this if there wasn't something going on?
There's a reason for it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Allegedly.
Reggie Bush's statement was pretty short and to the point. I'm honored to return to the Heisman family. I also look forward to working together with the Heisman Trust to advance the values and mission of the organization. So Reggie Bush gets his trophy back. USC gets its replica trophy back. I like that statement from Reggie Bush, right? He didn't, go on and on about this. But Strick, I also think for a guy like Reggie Bush, he has a big platform. He is well known. And clearly this means something to him. It would have been so easy, I think, for him to fire back with a low blow. Oh, it's about time. Could have said something backhanded. Thanks, but why did it take this long? I like that he kept it short, and I'm sure he's, not thrilled that it took this long. But I want to commend Reggie Bush for really taking the high road and not making this into, a bigger negative deal than it needed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm grateful and glad that they just were ultimately able to come to the right conclusion and get it and make it right. That's ultimately what I'm glad about. Better
late than never. Speaking of running backs, we haven't talked a whole lot about the Nebraska running backs. Excuse me. EJ Barthel, running backs coach for Nebraska, was at the podium yesterday. What does he think about his running back room and where it's at right now? Let's hear from the Nebraska running back coach.
Dante, as powerful as he is, and big as he is, he's a freshman. You know what I mean? And Quentin's going. This is his first spring. You know what I mean? So we got some guys that are just developing right now, and but they're really happy with the progress. Emmett has really taken his second step from last spring to this spring. He's obviously shown he can do some things, and he's growing up fairly quickly. Obviously Ramir and Gabe have been limited, just kind of recovering still, and Ramir's pretty much he's pretty good, but just getting him some work. You know what I mean? And he's kind of being monitored by coach a little bit here, but.
And then after that, the importance of getting a number one back established, because we heard a lot of names thrown out in that conversation. Does EJ Barthel want a true number one running back, or is he okay with doing it by committee? Here it is in his own words.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you were to ask me that 2 years ago, I probably would have told you it's extremely important. But going through what we went through last year, you know what I mean? That was the first ever I came into the office and you lose your 1 and 2 on the same day. You know what I mean? So I would tell you from an experience of last season, I think the more depth, the better. You know what I mean? And honestly, the chips will fall where they're going to fall. I talked to Emmett last year in August, and we had a lot of one-on-one talks about, where he's at and with his progression and development. And I remember just like yesterday, his first play was double-A mug against, double-A mug pressure. And he steps up against Michigan and makes a great play on third down. You know what I mean? His first snap as a young player against Michigan, he came off to the side. I told you, be ready when you're ready. And he was ready. So I take that message with Emmett, with the other guys, you know what I mean? And don't worry about when the time comes or when your moment comes to be listed as the starter, but you need to be ready.
He mentioned losing running backs 1 and 2 on the same day against Louisiana Tech last year. And Strick, we know running back is a position at the NFL level that gets churned through constantly, right? Not necessarily highly valued. There's a lot of injuries at that position. Where do you fall? Would you rather Nebraska have a true number one running back or more depth going into 2024?
I think depth and versatility would be one that I would probably want to see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just the ability to throw different guys out there that have different special qualities, because I think that can mix up guys. Right. Here's why I say that. Like, for example, you throw out Ramir Johnson. A lot of people consider in their mind to think Ramir Johnson is a third down guy. He's going to probably be in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
So defensive coordinators were schemed for that. And then all of a sudden you start hitting Ramir with something dink. Same thing, with Dowdell,
Mm-hmm.
If you just different, you think he's power, you think you bring him in 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 4. You're thinking power game, off tackles, maybe some read option. And then all of a sudden you fake him with a read option and run him on some form of a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I think that those are good to have 5 to 8 plays in a game that can throw somebody off because you just have versatility in specific areas, right?
Mm-hmm.
And even with Harburg, like I'm saying, okay, if Harburg doesn't end up landing in the top 2 of the quarterback battle, find ways to throw some weird stuff in there that can get you a certain play, a big play at a certain time when it's needed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Run some form of like have them guessing or thinking, which I don't know if we've had that in a while, where like I used to talk about, okay, we can't just do traditional lineup and beat people. So let's be misdirectional.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run some misdirections. Make the eyes of the defense feel as if, am I seeing what I'm seeing? Because it just seemed to me that defense was able to just go straight downhill, like read, hit, gap, go. You know what I'm saying? Or pattern, break on, because there ain't nothing else that's happening here. Oh, I don't trust them to make this out and up or this skinny post and go. I don't believe any of those quarterbacks are going to be able to hit that. But you want to put them on notice that you are capable.
And I think there's a fine line too, because these guys do have strengths and weaknesses, so you want to put them in positions to succeed. But I think part of challenging them to take the next step is, as an offense, if you've run a similar play or concept 3 or 4 times throughout the game, play 4, play 5, play 6, pull the chair on the defense.
Yeah.
Right? Sure, maybe it's uncomfortable for your running back, but like you said, Strick, if you get the defense flowing downhill, the eyes sucked up, and you can do something different, you don't have to hit it every time. You just have to hit it that one time. Boom, now there's something in the back of their mind.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping that they get to be honest.
Let's play something from Marcus Satterfield as well. We've talked a lot about the running back position here in this segment, and a big part of that learning curve, Strick, EJ Barthel talked about it, but pass protection, right? We know Marcus Satterfield came to Nebraska with more of a pass-first mentality, more so than maybe some previous offensive coordinators and systems. So for the running backs, just how important is pass protection? Here's the OC on that.
The pass protection by far, because we're going against a unique defense that you see everything every day. We see things in one practice that some guys won't even see in a spring, like an entire spring practice. So I think pass protection is the crucial developmental point for when you trust a young running back to go into the game.
There are a lot of young running backs, a lot of inexperienced running backs, a lot of guys in their first or second year in this scheme. It's hard for me to argue with a guy that gets paid millions of dollars to coach football. I can get why pass protection would be a separator, but also, Strick, Nebraska isn't at a point where I think pass protection can be number one on the list. Like, I think Nebraska's got to get the best runners out there. And I know you have quarterbacks that were banged up last year, young quarterbacks that might need some more time or some help, picking up blitzes.
Yeah.
But man, I think Nebraska needs to maybe strike a better balance in getting the best runners on the field more so than the best pass protectors more often.
I still think it's needed. I still think it's needed because that's been an area that has been so uncertain, inconsistent, a part of the team. I remember when it was at its best is when they were able to do whatever they wanted, however they wanted, whenever they wanted. As far as running plays, it didn't matter if it was counters. It didn't matter if it was straight option. It didn't, whatever they wanted to run, they were able to seal, open up, make way, and had some success. I want to just get back to that. Like 2.4 seconds.
Yeah.
Give him like to where he can step up, keep his head downfield, doesn't have to rely on legs to get out of trouble all the time. Like, we know what that looks like when you don't have to do it all the time. We also don't want
when it can be the spice instead of the meat.
Yeah. Look, but I also want him to be able to read and make decisions. You're looking at, like, you don't have that. I don't know what the heck is going on. Jeff Sims look that I remembered seeing last year. Like, no, there's some confidence in what you're seeing, and you're able to make plays out of it. So hoping, and as as Evan had said, to make those intermediate, just be on target.
Mm-hmm.
Placement, all of that stuff is important. And I think that's what I'm hoping to see.
It's all going to work together, from the offensive line to the receivers beating press coverage, with Matt Rule saying that's still something they're working on. Running back either picking up a big block or, being there in the flat and being able to make the first guy miss, to the quarterback making the right decision and doing it quickly. So much of that will come pre-snap. We'll take a break. We'll cross it over with old school Jay Foreman in the house. We'll wrap up on the block after this. NEBCO is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. NEBCO offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From NEBCO's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Spring is here, and Acres is offering special financing on select new John Deere lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers. Visit your nearest Acres store and test drive all the latest John Deere turf equipment and attachments. And for a limited time, with the purchase of a new John Deere mower, get up to $200 to apply to the steel power tool of your choice. From trimmers to chainsaws, gas or electric, Acres is your home for steel products and service. Offer expires April 30, 2024. Subject to approved credit by John Deere Financial.
Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends. That's the greatest compliment we can receive. If you've been in an accident, we'll get you back in your vehicle as quickly as possible. Our technicians care about you and your family and repair your vehicle to factory standards. We handle your claim from start to finish and provide a free loaner car. Stop by for a free estimate. Eustace Body Shop, just south of 88th and Highway 2.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
What do you think of when you hear the chocolate season? Artisan chocolates? Of course, they have the best chocolates this side of the Atlantic. Friendly neighborhood coffee shop? Yup, they're that too. A nationally recognized top-tier brunch spot. Waffle weekends, baby. And the place to grab a gift for literally any occasion? Everybody loves chocolate. See for yourself at The Chocolate Season, 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead online at thechocolateseason.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today looks like a very nice day with mainly sunny skies and calm winds, the high around 70. Tonight, a slight chance of showers, otherwise mainly cloudy, low around 51. And tomorrow, showers and storms are likely, especially in the afternoon. It'll be breezy too with the high around 64. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
One action, no matter how small, can have a world of impact on the life of a child. Cedars started because one couple believed that they could provide a child with a better life. And that belief grew into the Cedars that we know today, a powerful force for good that helps thousands of kids across Nebraska. Belief grows.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
The University of Nebraska Rodeo Association is excited to announce the 2024 Nebraska Cornhusker College Rodeo. Come on out to the Sandhills Global Event Center May 3rd and 4th. Cheer on your University of Nebraska Rodeo team as they take on teams from all across the Great Plains region. Friday is college night, and Saturday afternoon kids attend free with purchase of adult general admission ticket at the door. Advance tickets on sale now at sandhillsglobaleventcenter.org. Tickets also available at the Fort South 56th in Lincoln. Don't miss the Nebraska Cornhusker College Rodeo May 3rd and 4th.
Tanner's Bar and Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite MLB teams this spring and summer, as well as Nebraska baseball. Enjoy Tanner's delicious hamburgers, chicken lips, and daily specials, and wash it down with one of their tons of options of beers. You'll never have an issue finding the game as there are TVs everywhere throughout the space. So get in early and grab your spot and settle in for an afternoon or evening of baseball at Tanner's Bar and Grill, 30th and Yankee Hill. The Omaha Supernovas are back in action this Friday, April 26th versus the Grand Rapids Rise at CHI Health Center in Omaha. The Mullen Motors pregame show with Derek Pierce and Renee Saunders starts at 6 p.m. with first serve at 7. Make sure to tune in to the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show right after the match ends. Catch all the action on your flagship station, 93.7 The Ticket, and statewide on the Supernovas Radio Network. Looking for a job that feels like family? Join Lincoln Industries, where tradition meets innovation. They're a family-owned, privately held manufacturing company with a passion for excellence and a commitment to their community. They have openings on all shifts at both the main plant and air park facilities, offering flexibility to fit your schedule. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, there's a place for you there. At Lincoln Industries, they invest in their people's success, providing opportunities for growth and advancement. Apply now and become a part of something special at Lincoln Industries.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back one final time here during On the Block. Erick Strickland, Austin Norman, joined by Jay Foreman. Gentlemen, there is a seat between you. There is some space. Do I need to come take it, or are you good?
We good.
Yeah, we're good, man. What you talking about?
Y'all were going back and forth on my phone today. And I'm just a little concerned. We good?
You sent the thing.
What did I do?
You were the pot stirrer.
What did I do?
And then Strick, I don't know where Strick got it. He was screenshotting stuff, man. He had a lot of time on his hands. Mr. Conspiracy Theorist over there.
I'm just saying. It's actual. No, I can't.
Jordan shot her a lot of free throws.
I can't
shot
stop
a lot of
the numbers.
Jordan, they used to say the same thing about Jordan. And here's the thing.
And James Harden.
Here's what I'll concede. I'll make a temporary concession. Okay, this is a peace treaty from me to you, and you know what? There's some people in the world that probably need to.
We're in Geneva, Switzerland right now. So
yes, this is a peace treaty. As of today, I don't know what time it is. 3:56 p.m. Central Standard Time. What?
No, I was just saying.
Central Standard Time. This is what I'll concede to you, Mr. Strickland. This is a one-sided peace treaty. It's all in your favor, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
As of today at 3:56 at 1040 O Street at the Ticket, 93.7 Ticket FM, the mecca of sports radio in this great state of Nebraska, I'll admit on the record, you can clip this, Austin.
Okay.
That as of today, LeBron is locked in step as number 2 and Jordan is number 1.
Wow.
You heard it. Now, it's temporary because LeBron
he's still running. He's still operating.
Now, here's the asterisk and the caveat. You don't have to agree with it. This is how I'll rescind that statement. At any point in time for the rest of LeBron's career and he gets number 5, he goes to my all-time GOAT, hands down. But right now, I've been thinking long and hard about it because I was blessed to watch both of them. I think LeBron's better at some things than Jordan, but I think the gap between what Jordan does better than LeBron is bigger than what LeBron. I think LeBron maybe does say like he does 3 things better than Jordan or whatever, but it's not. It's throw it up in the air with your eyes closed. That's what on a Wednesday. Instead of I've taken all your bullets like Tony Montana. Give me all your bullets. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm here just giving you a peace treaty. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When he had that big old banana, he was lighting them up until he started getting hit. The dude got him, so that's what it is.
Okay.
I somewhat could see.
Okay.
We shaking on it? We dapping on it, or is it just verbal?
This is
okay.
Yeah, this is for real. I don't have my fingers crossed. I don't got a rabbit's foot or nothing like that. I wouldn't do that. I know it's too serious.
Respect. Are we still having the hour-long debate at some point, though?
Yes, we are.
Okay, good. That's all I care.
Yeah, we good.
You seen the show Suits, right? Harvey Specter, he'd make a deal like that, but when he'd show up, he'd have something right. Just he'd have a game or an eyewitness.
What was the movie with Leonardo? I'm the Wolf of Wall Street.
That's you.
That's me.
Because you're not leaving.
You're not leaving. Yeah, that's you at the lunch. You know what? And I can see you doing that too. I can see you doing that too. And they were in New York, so you was up there when you was in New York too.
Yeah, we had some breakdowns on movies, man, and just low budgets that hit the lick.
Hey, have you ever seen how they did the fighting scenes for Star Wars? I heard that.
No.
Have you seen it? It was like little toys, and the way that they zoomed in on it, the way they zoomed in on them when they were flying around with the Millennium Falcon. Yeah, it was little toys. Background, low budget like a mug.
Wow.
Now I'm talking about the very first one.
Right.
Yeah.
And you got to think with George Lucas, he got turned down 6 different times. Tried to get funding. Nah, that's not going to be good. One of the greatest movies series of all time.
What do you say, like 700-something billion for the franchise, Ricky? Something insane.
Yeah, 720.
Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I have. It's about to come back out. The new one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man.
I got hooked, bro. I got hooked.
That little girl. Hey, listen. They killed that girl's friend, and she said, "You know what? I ain't just gonna just kill you. I'm killing everybody. Dragon, have at it."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Connies.
Yeah. And if Dragon didn't even have to ask. Yeah, man.
Classic.
Yeah, in the new series, The House of Dragon is good.
I actually was I can't believe how it hooked me. Like there's been certain shows that people have told me about, and I would wait to watch them, and I'd be like, man, I ain't want to watch it, and got hooked.
And
you want to know which
Game
one?
of Thrones got me like
Game
that.
of Thrones got me.
Breaking Bad got me.
Breaking Bad was one that got me.
It was so slow.
I was actually surprised.
And
yes!
it was like the 5th show. I was like, oh yeah, I can't miss this.
Then the other one that got me was The Walking Dead. I was like, there's no way I'm watching that garbage.
Yeah.
And it ended up getting me.
Yeah.
The Walking Dead got me.
The new House of Dragon.
All
though.
11 of them Jones.
The new House of Dragon ain't no joke though.
When's it coming out? April, the end of April, right?
But they have it's kind of like Star Wars. They already had the first season of it.
Yeah.
Now they coming out in June with the second season.
Yeah.
They ain't playing that Valerian Steel. They ain't playing straight. That slice you in half, dog.
I still don't like the way it ended in the regular one.
10 seconds for station ID. Expand after.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I like the build up.
I did, but I didn't. It's almost
Ice
like
King.
you know what my analogy is with how it ended. It's almost like a golf architect that just ran out of space on the lake. He had 17 phenomenal holes. And then even the tee off is great on 18, and then he just put the green in the just like an easy shot. You know what I mean? That's how it was. Everything was going. The Night King.
Yeah.
The little girl stabbed him, and then the little dude made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's like then you mad at Jon Snow because he had to kill her because she turned into her grandfather.
Yeah.
So you had to kill her. He's the rightful owner anyway, or the king anyways. Yeah. That
was a weird ending.
It was a weird ending, kind of like Star Wars when they started making the new ones up. They kind of when it got sold.
No,
when it got sold, when Star Wars got sold, it lost its luster.
I agree. And a lot of people were mad about it.
Yeah.
But I will say this one upset me too because you left me out on a limb.
Oh, don't even say.
And you didn't bring which one?
Sopranos.
No. Black Panther.
Yeah,
the one where they had,
but my man died though.
Him up there looking at they made it seem like there might be some Return of Killmonger.
Right. But then he died though. The main character died though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So then that's you have a built-in excuse there. The way I didn't like how Sopranos ended because we don't have any answers. Obviously, the main character passed away, so you can't do it. But you think that they would maybe be able to manufacture stuff with AI and have an ending, and then maybe have a spinoff of it. You ain't heard nothing of it.
That's why I can appreciate Top Gun. I can appreciate the way they did it with how things shifted and with the characters, how they were able to reintegrate them and create a storyline, but with greater technology, which makes it look real.
And it was great. You want to know who didn't do that with the same type of genre of movie?
Who?
Iron Eagle.
I agree.
The first Iron Eagle, I was like, oh yeah, Top Gun, move over.
I agree.
And then they got my man. You know what it is, Austin? They always get the brothers in the movie. You die early. You got my man Lou. They got Lou Gossett. Yeah.
Yeah, he bowed out.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear the theory that the 90% of Top Gun 2 is a dream? That Tom Cruise didn't survive the ejection, so everything after that he's dreaming.
Oh, that's a new thought behind it. But I like the fact that they gave Val Kilmer, who didn't have a voice, they gave him a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the word is that they used his son
for the voice.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Which was pretty cool.
Right.
I love that they were able to still put him in and use that part of the story. I thought it was dope. But that's a new one for me. It was a dream.
Yeah, like he didn't survive the ejection, so on the way down, he's dreaming this. I don't know.
Sometimes I think with movies, they wait too long to come out with it. You know what I mean? And then, something like, Paul Walker passes away. We talked about, Lou Gossett Jr., all these, then you got to, not that you got to go back to back years, but you should understand when you got something good, man.
Yeah.
And you roll with it.
You got a window.
You got a window and maximize that window.
My problem with it, Jay, is in movies when they have either a history or they captured a time when you were a child and you grow and they try to change it.
Yeah, change it differently.
They make it wholly. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Keep it in the original context and just build on it.
Yeah.
But I hate when they try to change it.
You seen the new Mad Max coming out with his daughter?
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I didn't know that was the concept with the daughter.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was. I actually like that series. I talked about it earlier. It was one of my favorite. The original, even going back to the original.
Yeah,
I like Mad Max. Thunderdome was one I love with Tina Turner.
That had to be low budget. Not Thunderdome, but the other ones got to be low budget too.
Yeah.
Something that a show that always comes up here, Lost. Good ending, bad ending.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah,
but I watched
was in and out on Lost. I was in and out on that one. I can't say for sure on that one.
The one that I hated was the cliffhanger was Tony Soprano or The Sopranos.
That was the only one.
When they just went in a diner and then you saw I want to see somebody get off. You made it this long.
So then,
congratulations, you survived.
Yeah.
Well, think about this then. Since we've been watching movies, what do you think about the movies of the playoffs right now, as you see it? Is it what you like, what you expected?
Most of it I like. I do. I think the Philly series, the Philly series and the Lakers, Philly Knicks and the Lakers Nuggets are kind of the same. Philly probably feels like they let 2 games go, especially that last one, right? Mm-hmm. Same with the Lakers. But the problem is it's been an exciting movie, but the endings it's like you want the ending to be a certain way. It isn't there now. Can you be in season 3? You know what I mean? And it's kind of like mafia games. You look, a couple of your street corners got popped. Can you go and find some help somewhere? Because if not, it's game, set, match. And so I think it's been good. The Timberwolves, I think last night showed me something. Ant-Man was locked down. Roberts got busy. I want to ask you about this, Strick. I am not a big Karl Anthony Towns fan.
I don't think I've ever been.
I just don't understand in the playoffs. You got 3 quick fouls and you down by 8 or 10, excuse me, and you're on the bench laughing, bro.
There's a reason his name is Cat, not Dog.
Like, you about to lose.
Well said.
You about? I mean, this is serious.
Yes.
Because don't think. I mean, I think Phoenix. I think if Phoenix wins this next game, this series going 6 or 7. If they defend home court, because I think KD has sat back and watched, and Grayson Allen hasn't. I mean, he has 5 shots or made 5 buckets 2 games. KD's going to try to light your life up. Yeah, I think he's been deferring too much. You know what I mean? And I think him and Bradley Beal are going to have to take the bull by the horns and let Devin Booker be the closer. But it's hard because the Timberwolves are the biggest and longest team in the league.
Yeah.
And they're the best defense. And they got a true point guard, a true difference maker in Edwards. And then you got their complementary pieces are so good. You got to think Naz Reid is essentially 10-10 without no sets calling for him.
Yeah.
10-10.
Yeah.
Legit. Every night, just he's there.
Yeah.
And you got the I call him the Eiffel Tower, the Frenchie,
the Stifle Tower.
Gobert.
Yeah,
a good bit.
What's coming up on Old School, Jim?
It's all NFL mock draft, man.
Mock draft.
There's
Hold on, real quick. Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr.
Are
you? I'll let you talk.
I'm gonna take Marvin Harrison Jr. But you know what? There's a guy that people are that's in this draft that is essentially all he's ever thrown to was first round picks. Quarterback.
There it is.
There's gonna
wait to find out.
The thing is with Marvin Harrison, sometimes you're so good that they try to convince themselves not to take you.
There it is.
Hey, you know what? Maybe not going to play with Paco Hercules would be a good thing. I like you from Buffalo, my brother.
Hey. Steep price to pay to trade up for that.
I know. They trade everything. Oh, well.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yes, Tricky and I will get into some NFL stuff tomorrow with the draft. But if you can't wait, Jay Foreman, NFL mock draft. For Strick, I'm Austin. Thanks to Nebco for sponsoring On the Black. We'll be back with you mañana.
Hi, I'm Senator Bo Ballard. I was born and raised in Lancaster County, learning the value of hard work and grit at a young age. I built my own company, creating jobs right here in our community. I know that families and businesses in our community need lower taxes, lower cost of healthcare, and a great education. That's why